Dave me at insagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We all sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint. Supply.
We're not on Broadway. It's kind of hard to get through Broadway right now from like Claiborne's to St. Charles Avenue. Lots of road construction. No, we're not on Broadway. It is indeed New Orleans. Thank you, Drew Brees. It's the Angry Wave from yesterday's program. He's still up there. Will he earn a permanent home there or not? Who knows? I like the Angry Wave, though. What a great logo. Yeah, you right. Let's do this thing on already a Thursday. You know, keeping your fingers crossed. So far, so good, huh? This weather thing. Invest 93L. You want it to remain Invest 93L because if it becomes, you know, Brenda or Freddie, it sucks because it's a named storm, and that means it's a named storm. It's amped up. It's windier. It's hit, you know, I don't know, what would it be, 55, 60 mile an hour for it to become like a tropical depression or something like that? So we don't need it becoming a named storm. Invest 93L works perfectly fine. The L stands for lame, and that's a good thing. As most of these weather folks, meteorologists are saying, it's not got a lot of structure, which turned it into sort of this kind of just inching along, kind of lumbering, bumbling, fumbling, you know, along, just sort of unorganized storm that's crossing across the Gulf of Mexico, close to the Florida Panhandle, Alabama coast, Mississippi coast, New Orleans, Louisiana coast, I-10 corridor, kind of just paralleling that, and a little more, obviously, but just rain event, a big rain event is what this Invest 93L is. Rain expected tomorrow through, today through tomorrow night. Today through tomorrow night, rain is expected. Could have some rain on Saturday. Sunday's supposed to be sunny and nice. 86 of 93 major drainage pumps are available. I saw a headline today. I don't remember where, 468-26NOLA.com, Len, somewhere. Orleans Parish and Jefferson Parish officials feel confident with the pumps. Like all of a sudden it's become a Jefferson Parish thing. Used to just be New Orleans and the dysfunctional sewage and water board. I'm not going to sit here and go off on this, but retention ponds, water features should be all over Metro New Orleans. Wagoner and Ball, New Orleans water plan. Google that. Wagoner and Ball, New Orleans water plan. If we did that, boy, the city would just be so much nicer looking, attract more businesses, great investment, lots of jobs. These water features and retention ponds all over St. Bernard, Jefferson, and Orleans Parish are incredible. Planned, really none implemented. But no, the headline now is Orleans and Jefferson pumps. Like Jefferson Parish knows you get a bunch of inches of rain real quick. It floods at Vets and Clearview. It floods wherever the rain comes down in St. Bernard, Jefferson Parish, North Shore, wherever, West Bank. It's not just New Orleans and the antiquated sewage and water board. That's part of it. But it's just we're in a bowl everywhere. We're in a swamp, a marsh, a wetland. And instead of working with water, we work against it. And, Yeah, no, Jefferson Parish now, pumps working. It's like a concern because Jefferson floods. No, it's not all about the Sewage and Water Board, but Sewage and Water Board is, it's antiquated. It's old. Turbine 4 online, working, steam powered. This turbine is steam powered. It's from like 1915. It's over 100 years old. It's a Model T. Today, the mayor and city council arrived at the chambers in the Model T. Some were driving in modern 2025 Suburbans. Others were driving in the 1915 Model T that the city still utilizes. That's Turbine 4. Turbine 5's available. Turbine 6 is available. Those 5 diesel locomotive engines that produce about 12.5 megawatts of power together, they're available. So you've got you need 44 megawatts of peak power. They've got like 20 megawatts more than that right now. 86 of 93 major drainage pumps available. There are some pumps out, but it's not like an entire pumping station. There could be 5 pumps at that station and one of the 5 pumps is out. It's not cool. It's not good. 86 of 93 major drainage pumps working at the Sewage and Water Board. By the way, this segment brought to you by California Psychics. I don't sell out. These folks offered to advertise on my program. They wanted me to do live endorsements. And by golly, I believe in California Psychics. So I'm taking the money and I'm running with it because of my integrity, honor, and pride. And they also provide something that put it over the top for me, guaranteed certainty with the California Psychics, guaranteed certainty. And then this extra guarantee where I was like, write me the check already. I'll take your money. If it's not life-changing, their reading, it's free. And they turn down so many psychics that try to join California Psychics. They only use the best. And I know I said it earlier in this live spot, but I'm going to say it again. And by golly, that's important. This segment is most definitely not brought to you by California Psychics. I did not take money from them, and I'm kind of just making fun of them, actually. This segment brought to you by California Psychics. Guaranteed certainty. I'm like, what do you mean guaranteed certainty? It's the dead opposite of that. Call them now. 555 total BS. That's 555 total BS. It's California Psychics. If it's not life-changing, it's free. Sorry. Most of us, we just live our lives. For a lot of us, every now and then, something life-changing happens. But just by, chance you're calling California Psychics, it's like, tomorrow you win the lottery. You'll meet your soulmate at the grocery store tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, most definitely not brought to you by California Psychics. Guaranteed, life-changing, or it's free. I love those kind of, there's like an ad for air conditioning. There's like an ad for automotive repair. Like, we do the repair right or it's free. Wow. So I have a problem, and if you don't fix it, you're telling me I don't have to pay for it. Wow, that's genius. Amazing. Wow. So I go to the grocery store and I walk out with no items, and I don't have to pay for it. That is incredible. I'll be at that grocery store. If it's not fixed right, it's free. Yeah. Thanks for nothing. Thanks for nothing. Speaking of nothing, I'm trying to contain myself. Louisiana has canceled the Mid Barataria Diversion project. What an embarrassment. Not good for Louisiana, not good for Louisiana's reputation, the state's biggest, most ambitious coastal restoration plan, probably studied for like 2 decades almost. Republican, Democrat, bipartisan support, Republican, Democrats in the House and Senate, Republican, Democrat governors. been studied for nearly 20 years. A $3 billion project that's paid for by BP. It's like $3 billion. And from what I understand, the state is not on the hook for any overruns. And all of a sudden, you're not hearing much from the state about the oyster fishermen or messing up the fisheries in Plaquemine. You're hearing about cost overruns and we can't afford it. That's what the state's trying to sell you right now. Now, Jeff Landry and Gordon Dove just making these decisions, like a handful of Jeff Landry's boys making this decision. No, it's sad. It really is. And it sends a terrible message, especially since $500 million of the $3 billion has already been spent. Engineering firms, construction firms, they've moved down here. They've invested in equipment and personnel. And now the project's canceled. They're selling off stuff and getting out of Dodge now. Man, don't go do a Louisiana project. These jokers might cancel it. Even when someone else is paying for it. $3 billion in BP money. Something that's been studied for a long time. Bipartisan support. Sure, it's got its detractors, but this thing has been, green lighted. $3 billion ready to go. $3 billion with a B. I mean, a major economic engine, construction jobs for years. Canceled. At the end of the day, it's just something we just could not afford. No way, shape, or form. That's Tony Alford, the chairman of the Coastal Advisory Commission on coastal issues under Jeff Landry. No, sinful behavior. That's a major mistake.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spot. TM-AC.com, your cool spot.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint and Supply.
I guess I'm going to have to go do it. I guess I'm going to have to go into Art and Eyes on Magazine and pick up another pair of prescription glasses, another pair of frames. I went in there with my mother, Art and Eyes, finest eyewear boutique in the South, one of the finest in the country. If you wear prescription eyewear or need a great pair of sunglasses, Art and Eyes on Magazine. Now, I went in there with my mom getting her prescription glasses. They were ready. And they have about 50 or 60 different designer frames, names you've never, ever heard of. And that's a good thing because they're not owned by Luxottica, this mafia Chinese manufactured garbage. They own everything, basically. Stuff I used to love, like Persol and Ray-Ban, Revo, Luxottica garbage, junk. You either get on board or they don't sell you at all the places they own, like Sears Optical, Sunglass Hut, all these places that sell eyewear all over. Target, they own it. So Art and Eyes is the flip side of that. Eyewear that's as unique as you. This one designer, Jacques-Marie Mage, out of California, all handmade in Japan, just super high and high quality, lifetime purchase eyewear. I love their stuff, and I hadn't been in Art and Eyes in a couple of months. I was like, you got any new Jacques-Marie Mage? And they know me in there, and they would treat you the same way, but she pulled out every single Jacques-Marie Mage frame they had, about 15 or 20. And there's like 3 that I really, really like. And I said, get out of here, Corey. You're going to get these frames right now. You love them. Get out of here. And I left. And that was about a week and a half ago. And about every other day, I'm like, I need to get into Art and Eyes on Magazine and go get those Jacques-Marie Mage frames I like. They're sort of Malcolm X-ish looking. There's a black one with the wire bottom. There's a tortoiseshell one with the wire bottom. They're just really great. And so I'm probably going to go in there and get those prescription glasses. Another pair of glasses. Now, I used to have one pair of prescription glasses, one pair of prescription sunglasses. I've got about a half dozen pair of prescription glasses and about a half dozen pair of prescription sunglasses, all from Art and Eyes on Magazine. I remember going in there and people were getting like their 4th and 5th pair, you know, and I had my one pair of prescription glasses I got from them and sunglasses, and I was very happy. And then all of a sudden I'm getting a second and a third and a 4th pair. And I'm the person that I was looking at day one when I went in there going, why you have 5 pairs of glasses from this place? Art and Eyes on Magazine. If you have prescription eyewear needs, need a great pair of sunglasses, Google them. Art and Eyes on Magazine Street. Thursday afternoon edition of the program. Yeah, rain expected through tomorrow night. Invest 93L hanging off the coast of Louisiana, the Gulf Coast, in the Gulf of Mexico. We could have severe rain. So far, so good. I mean, it's just been cloudy and kind of crappy, kind of the great Northwest weather. Portland, Seattle, Vancouver, just overcast, kind of drizzly, misty, rainy. I mean, there's been some spotty downpours, some scattered showers, but not big time, not major stuff. Last night, some crazy lightning and thunder, huh? Some crazy lightning and thunder, but I don't know how much rain it was producing, at least in Metro New Orleans. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. Yeah, I wasn't happy to hear about this. $3 billion paid for the Mid Barataria Diversion project, bringing back that area to how it was. You know, it's mind-blowing to me, just the, you know, the oystermen, and it's just like a few dozen. It's a few dozen oystermen. It's a few dozen fishermen. It's a few dozen Plaquemine politicians. It's some influential people, and that's it. Like I would say less than 100 people got this thing canceled. I don't know how many women are involved. I would say it's mostly men. I don't know how many outside of white men who are involved. I mean, it's like that demographic. White males, less than 100 of them, oyster fishermen, politicians, power brokers, got this thing canceled. Jeff Landry, Gordon Dove. Gordon Dove runs like coastal restoration. I'm not saying Gordon Dove doesn't know anything about coastal restoration, but Gordon Dove's nobody special. He could have been on like a finance committee when he was, a House rep. Would you want him to handle your retirement money because he was on the finance committee? He was on some coastal committee or two. I mean, doesn't make him any kind of a coastal expert at all in the least bit. In the least bit, he's nothing special. I'm not dogging the guy. Avoids this program. Don't get a return call from his people. Why do we want to go on Corey's show? He'll ask legitimate, tough questions, and we won't have answers for them because this was politically motivated crap. That's what it is. The needs of the few outweighing the needs of the many, all of us. And a major project that would help protect the population center of New Orleans and Belle Chase canceled. It's mind-blowing. No, and what is really mind-blowing, the short-sightedness of these oystermen and fishermen. They know better than anyone from their fathers and their grandfathers, stories of land was there, it's no longer there, it's open water. This would restore that. This would bring back that area like it was when their grandfather was there. There was no bottlenose dolphin there because it was fresh water. The Mississippi was just flowing into it. Land was growing. So they know better than anyone's, but they're worried about today and their oyster fishing today and where they fish today and where those fish are today. And they're not worried about their kids or their kids' kids. And that's just a fact. That's a fact. They can tell you whatever they want to tell you. Man, we're into building barrier islands. We're into, moving sediment from one place to another via pipeline, all of this stuff that requires continuous man involvement maintenance, where this diversion project, you open it up and the river flows where it naturally flowed and brings all kind of sediment into that area and grows land. Plaquemine's parish, livable, workable lands, like a few 100 square miles. This would add like 25 square miles, like a significant amount. Everyone wants to downplay that. $3 billion for 25 square miles. I could build that and then you're continuously pumping and you're continuously moving it and bulldozing all the time. So I'm all for that, by the way. I'm for every single tool in the tool belt. Moving sediment via pipeline, rebuilding barrier islands, marsh planting, cypress tree planting, all of it. Hell, I've come up with something that I don't think anyone else has come up with, and I think it's totally legitimate. I've mentioned it to Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser and others. The Army Corps of Engineers dredges the Mississippi River so ships can go through there, which they should. River bottoms are part of state property. The Mississippi River, that dredge material is ours, Louisiana's. The Army Corps mostly throws it off the, right out into the Gulf, off the continental shelf, just out into the Gulf, wastes it. That's our land. That's our dirt, our soil, our sediment. The Army Corps, by law, all dredging on the Mississippi River, that dredge material needs to be loaded onto a barge or hooked into a pipeline that travels for miles and dumps that sediment, spews that sediment all over into the marsh to build land. So I am not only, let's look at what everybody's talking about, barrier islands, marsh, restoration, cypress marsh restoration, moving soil, moving sediment via pipeline, rebuilding with dredge material, all of that. And also these diversion projects. All these folks are like against the diversion projects because they return things to how they were. Man, I'm used to the brackish or saltwater intrusion. We're used to that for years now. Now you want to change it back to how it was when my dad or grandfather was around? All it does is push the fisheries that exist where they are farther out. They don't disappear. You're growing land. You're expanding the coastline. You're increasing the fisheries, not decreasing them. You're increasing the fisheries, not decreasing them. You're just adding fresh water, pushing the brackish out, and the brackish is pushing the salt out, and you're creating land and marsh over years. And yeah, it's that simple. $3 billion paid for, state not on the hook for overruns. Typical Louisiana BS politics, I'm telling you, at its worst. This thing was studied for a long, long time, and now just on the whim of a few guys getting together smoking cigars at the hunting lodge, we're canceling that bad boy, the Mid Barataria project. $3 billion with a B. The most ambitious project yet, the one that's going to grow the most land, that's going to make the most change. Canceling it just like that. Already, what, 1/6 of the way in? 500 million of 3 billion spent already. No, the message it sends, there's so many different levels besides us getting screwed, besides this diversion not being built. Like I mentioned before, engineering firms, construction firms, like, man, I'm not doing business in Louisiana. I won the project. It's $3 billion. We're down there for years building. All of a sudden, it's just canceled on a whim. Some political nonsense. Tony Alford, chairman of the Coastal Advisory Commission. At the end of the day, it's not something that we can just, it's something that we just could not afford. No way, shape, or form. No, it's BP money. And from what I understand, the state is not responsible for any overruns. The needs of the few, a few dozen oystermen and fishermen, along with some influential politicians and the like, canceled this $3 billion project. The needs of the few in Louisiana, that Edwin Edwards, Mark Morial, Bill Jefferson, John Alario mentality. You know, steal everything, even the stuff that's bolted down. Let's saw off the bolts and steal that. No, the needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many, us. That's why we continue to flounder. This kind of nonsense. No, it's a shame. This is a big blow to Louisiana and coastal restoration. It's amazing. Jeff Landry, all during election, the entire time as governor, never, ever once talking about coastal restoration, except going backwards. Let's get rid of a project that's been studied for decades instead of being committed to the project like everyone was.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans,
your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone.
At Audubon Gutters.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday afternoon. Sheriff Susan Hudson found guilty of contempt, not bringing inmates to court. Just, I don't know what that's about. I think it's like a hyper woke, like, keep them out of court. Maybe they won't get, in the trial quick enough, getting their, quote, due process, and they'll be released on some 701 gimmick. I have no idea. But she was found guilty of contempt. August 4th, sentencing date. The judge is smart. At least in this case. I don't know the judge's reputation, but the ruling. Get your jail, get your sheriff's department in order, and you don't go to jail. And you'll go to jail on August 4th. So the sheriff has a few weeks to get her you-know-what together, which I don't know if the sheriff's going to be able to get her you-know-what together in 3 weeks. Hey, usually at this time, every Thursday afternoon, around 4:35, 4:36, we head over to River Road at Arnold. That's right past the River Shack. River Shack's what? River Road in Shrewsbury, right past Oxnard. There's across from the River Shack is this, it's called Paulin's. It's like a vet clinic and a boarding place for animals. Behind that, going down River Road at Arnold, is Stacked Gym, Stacked Coaching. Bradley Schneller is on vacation. So I was like, dude, no. Enjoy your vacation. Enjoy your time away. We'll do it next week. No, I love getting Bradley on because he's got just a great philosophy. He's like, fitness, like working out at the gym, that's for like mental health. That's for, feeling good and being mentally and physically healthy. Nutrition, that's for, if you want to have a certain weight and you can't outwork a bad diet. You can't just eat whatever you want and go to the gym 2 hours a day every day and you'll be fine. So he breaks it all down. I mean, I've learned so much. And I'll tell you this, and I'll make it quick. I'm not like a club member. I'm not against people that are club members. A lot of my friends, most of my friends are members of clubs. Could be a Mardi Gras club, could be some social club, could be a country club or, tennis, golf type of club, fitness, whatever, hunting, fishing, going down to the hunting camp with like 8 or 10 dudes and hanging out for 3 days and hunting fish and all that. I've just never really gravitated towards clubs of that. I'm lucky. I've got a big family. I'm the youngest of, 5 kids. I got 2 older brothers, 2 older sisters. Very tight family. Lots of friends. All of my brothers and sisters have friends. So through the years, I'm friends with their friends, on and on. So big family, especially now, married, nieces, nephews, all that. A lot of my brothers and sisters. Lots of friends. I mean, when I got married, I think I had a dozen groomsmen and could have had like 3 or 4 more. So lots of friends, lots of best friends, lots of great friends, lots of friends, lots of acquaintances. Just kind of a New Orleanian. It's a, big town almost, more than a city. Everybody knows everybody. I went to a lot of schools, almost like an army brat type of thing, although we weren't in the army and never moved. All in New Orleans. No, so I never gravitated towards clubs and things like that. It's Mardi Gras Day. I'm about to head out to the quarter. Actually, I was marching, I guess, with St. Anne. I was heading to the Bywater. And it's like 7:38 in the morning, and this guy's on Twitter, like, heading to the quarter with my kids, And I replied back something like, who goes to the French Quarter with their kids? And this guy, and then that guy just like snaps back at me, just like, cursing and all this stuff. And then one reply was from Bradley Schneller, who I didn't even know. And it was just, what happened to you, Corey? Like, what happened, dude? Like, what I got, I was like, you used to be cool. What happened to you? That was sort of what I got out of it. Why this loser mentality? And I was just like, who brings their kids to the quarter? He goes, I bring my kids to the quarter. I'm like, I hear you. My dad used to bring us to the quarter on Mardi Gras Day. But by like 9, 10 a.m., 11 a.m., we are clear of the French Quarter, and we're on St. Charles Avenue in a ladder or something catching throws. And he's like, that's exactly what I do. I go down there with my kids, and by like 10 a.m., 11 a.m., it's adult time, and the kids are gone. And I'm like, yeah, of course, that's fine. This guy's, he's saying all day, and this guy's replying back, hell yeah, all day. The kids can handle it all, So I look at Bradley's bio, and he's this owner of Stack Gym. And I think I direct messaged him or something. He's like, yeah, it's the gym where Meg Farris goes. And Meg is in really good shape. And Meg has been talking to me. She does that fitness stuff on Channel 4. And she always had brought up this, gym that she goes to. And it isn't CrossFit, but it's got some of those elements, I guess, and like weightlifting, all kind of different stuff. And I mean, the less I know, the better, seriously. And so I talked to Bradley. I was like, man, I've been trying to do something. He's like, come on in. And it happened that organically and that quickly, from like dormant Pillsbury Doughboy, just gushy and squishy, to, yeah, I'll come on in. And I go into the gym, and he shows me the different plans. I was like, yeah, I'll start this week. And I think the first week I went in like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. That was like my first month. And I was like, this hour each day is kicking my butt. And it's going to take me too long to get it to where it's at least sort of comfortable, where at least I feel I can kind of, take this thing on somewhat. So I increased to like 4 days a week. And then I increased to like 5 days a week. So now I go like a minimum of 5 days a week, never go like 7. Sometimes I'll go 6. It's crazy because I never commit to this type of stuff like this. I'd have to be on like a team sport where I'm not by myself. I'm not disciplined enough mentally to do it all the time. Oh, it's raining. Oh, I'm going to go only half today. Boy, I'm sweating. I'm winded already. 15 minutes is enough. That would be me. I'm with a team playing intramural sports somewhere. I'm leaving the middle of the game. I'm all in. I've got all my friends, people I'm playing with. I'm on a team. I'm part of a team. That's stacked coaching. I go in the morning about 8:30 It's about 15 other people. They're all committed to that hour at the gym. There's no political talk. There's no religion talk. None of that ever. I've never seen anyone with any kind of political message or religious message at all on their attire. Nothing. Everybody's there just encouraging everybody else. And I didn't think about it. I didn't go, wow, this is great. It just organically, using that word again, it naturally just happened. And now I'm there all the time. I've been doing it like over a year. I really like the place. I mean, it's hard. I'll go in there and some days I'm like, damn, when's this hour going to end? This is busting my rear end. And yeah, like the less I know, like I said, the better. It's so true. Like the workout for the day is like, I'm signed up for tomorrow. The workout is in this little app. I've never, ever looked at the workout in my life in advance. There's like 5 parts, like a warm-up, a hot start, strength, Metcom thing, and like a finish, whatever. I don't know. Seriously, like I don't really know. There's 5 of them. I know that. I didn't realize that till months in. There are 5 things. I didn't realize like on Wednesday, we don't do the 5 things, kind of do a cardio type thing. Like Saturday's sort of like Wednesday. Like I didn't catch on to this stuff for months and months and months because I didn't want to look at the workout because unlike some of the folks in there that are just animals that go in there and attack it and just kick its rear end or attempt to, I'm trying to survive it. I'm just trying to survive it. So I don't want to know the info. When the next thing pops up on the screen, that's the first time I've seen it. I'll look around, see somebody grab jump rope. I'm like, I guess in the future we need a jump rope. I might go grab a jump rope following somebody else's lead, but I have no idea what's next. So I'm just telling you, someone like me, kind of Pillsbury Doughboy sitting on the couch. I've always been, I was never fat or super out of shape. I'd bike ride for a little while, for a few months, stop. Wouldn't get back on the bike for a year or two. Jog for a few months, stop. Not jog for a year or two. Play tennis for 6 months, stop playing tennis for years. Walk when I play golf, stop walking when I play golf. Just these on and off things, never anything consistent, never anything that I could build on. And then I get over to Stacked Coaching, stackedcoaching.com with Bradley Schneller, and I'm learning about fitness and then that leads to nutrition where you don't want to eat like crap because you're seeing gains at the gym. You don't want to screw them up. But I have like a cheat day on Sunday. I'll eat some M&Ms or drink a Coke, stuff like that. Go get Baskin Robbins chocolate chip ice cream, go to Creole Creamery, get a scoop of that with some whipped cream or something like that. Big dessert, whatever. But I'm telling you, it works. So you folks that have, I'm not going to sit here and Noom or Weight Watchers or any of this crap to you. I'm going to tell you, just for me, someone that was like the Pillsbury Doughboy, kind of dormant, hard to get into something that really worked. Stacked worked. It's contagious. It's addictive. The people there encourage you. And it's, Corey, you're doing that wrong. You want your foot back here. Everybody helps everybody. It's just insanely great and great people. Everybody focused on the same thing. That naturally, organically leads to like better nutrition. All of this, all of this. Do I still go get like a fried shrimp po' boy at Domalisi? Sure. I just don't do it as often. I think about what I eat naturally. I'm not bummed out about it. It's not depressing. I don't have cravings, whatever. Stackedcoaching.com. I'm telling you, like a life changer. A few friends of mine older than me, man, boy, we're getting old. And I looked at him, I was like, I'm getting younger. Like, I feel like I've stopped the clock a little bit. I've slowed the clock down dramatically, where before I had that clock accelerating. Stackedcoaching.com.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole-Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Thursday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. Got the 5 o'clock power hour coming your way on a Thursday. Hey, don't forget, tomorrow, Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, I'm going to get Michael Heck's take from Greater New Orleans Inc. on the canceling of this Mid Barataria Diversion project. And not just like, wow, in my opinion, we're blowing a great opportunity to build the coast. It's paid for by BP, on and on and on. That business angle, like all these engineering firms, Michael, that have rented space in the CBD and brought in dozens of engineers, all these construction firms that have rented space, that have hired people, that have bought equipment, that have invested in this because it's a $3 billion project and it's paid for. It's like as guaranteed, as good as it gets. What do those people think of Louisiana now, where we just arbitrarily pull the plug on this project that was fully green-lighted, fully paid for, $3 billion, years of construction? How does that affect folks when it's time to do a future project? And I think when they're sitting there going, are we going to Oklahoma, Texas, or Louisiana? They're going to go to Oklahoma or Texas if it comes down to something like that. Because they're like, dude, they might pull the plug. You remember Jimmy, he was involved in that Mid Barataria Diversion project and had all that money invested. It bankrupted him. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. Yeah, Louisiana. Jeff Landry, the state, they've canceled the $3 billion Mid Barataria Diversion project. And as this thing was going like in that direction, it was all about these oystermen and these fishermen and wrecking Barataria Basin and changing the ecology, the fisheries, that kind of thing. Now it's strictly money. Now it's strictly about money because they probably are realizing, wow, Corey's right, and a bunch of other people are going to catch on. First off, it's not all oystermen and Plaquemine. I guarantee you I can find a bunch of oystermen that are for the project. I can find a bunch of fishermen in Plaquemine that are for the project. It's a handful of squeaky wheel oystermen and fishermen that don't want their lives to change. They're older, they're 50, 60, 70, they're set in their ways and they don't want their life to change. And they're small-time thinkers. I'm not saying they're dumb. I'm saying they're small-time thinkers. Not everybody sees the big picture. Not everybody can pull themselves outside the bubble and look at their situation objectively and fairly, at least try to. A lot of people don't have empathy, like an understanding of things that are beyond what, is in their wheelhouse. These guys, these poor folks, and I don't mean financially, they've seen land disappearing that their fathers have told them about, that their grandfathers have told them about, that's now open water. This brings that area back to like granddaddy's day, where there were no bottlenose dolphin in Barataria Bay because it was fresh water. It wasn't brackish or even salt. The oyster fisheries move farther out. The fisheries that exist there move farther out. Land's created. It's only a plus. And I'm not against all the other tools in the tool belt. Unlike these folks, I'm for all the things they're for. Barrier Island reconstruction, moving sediment via pipeline. I'm for all of that. But I'm also for the diversions which they're against, which is crazy. It's you're going against Mother Nature. You're going against the way it naturally was. Look at Mardi Gras Pass. Look at Neptune Pass, right there on the Mississippi. Land that is being grown naturally, sediment from the river. Look at the Atchafalaya Basin, south of Lafayette. Land growing like crazy down there. Yeah, because the Atchafalaya River's got a 1/3 of the Mississippi River goes into the Atchafalaya. Where at Morganza, 1/3 of the river, over 30% diverted to the Atchafalaya, 2/3 continuing down to New Orleans, Baton Rouge to New Orleans. I've been telling you about this place for a few weeks now. It's Thursday night. You're looking for somewhere tonight for dinner or this weekend. You're looking for somewhere special to dine this weekend. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. What are you waiting for? Throw out the lame excuse of, I don't want to drive across the causeway. You're driving across town anyway. From Lakeside Shopping Center, it's 25 minutes to Gallagher's 527. Just like Treyen, right when you cross the causeway, it's right there. Treyen's right on your left. Gallagher's 527, right on your right, behind that Shell station, right off the causeway by the Aquista Pace Grocery in Mandeville. Gallagher's 527, clearly one of the Metro New Orleans area's finest restaurants, as good as it gets. I don't like it. I don't think it's very good. I love it, and I think it's excellent. So if you love fine dining, you like lamb chops and steaks sizzling in butter, you love Louisiana seafood like pompano tuna, speckled trout amandine, pecan-crusted catfish meuniere, bacon-wrapped fried oysters, bacon-wrapped fried shrimp, scallops, incredible gumbo. Some of the best gumbo you'll get anywhere. Just chock full of local, fresh Louisiana seafood, rich brown roux, fantastic. A great turtle soup. The crab meat St. Francis, a must. One of the best crab meat appetizers anywhere. It's not in our gratin. Piping hot in this little ramekin full of big old chunks of Louisiana jumbo lump crab meat. Fantastic. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Lunch Tuesday through Friday. You can get lunch there tomorrow. Dinner Tuesday through Saturday night. Dinner tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday night. You will not be sorry. I promise you. You will leave going, Corey was so right. This place is incredible. It's on my to-go list forever. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. So good. Yeah, you South Shore folks, make the trip across the lake. North Shore folks already know about it. 25 minutes from Lakeside. It's that quick. That's it. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. You will thank me. I promise you. I love it. I got to get over there maybe tomorrow for lunch. Definitely dinner over the weekend. Love the place. 5 o'clock power hour coming your way. What's that, Blue Boy? You'd like me to get lamb chops and bring you back some lamb chops. Yeah, I bet you would. Or a steak. You love that they're sizzling in butter. Blue Boy, you're amazing. What about the kibble? You eat the kibble? You want me to eat the kibble? I hear you, buddy. You want Gallagher's 527, not the kibble. I'm with you on that. 5 o'clock powwow. Next, don't move.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
Good boy.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Here we go. 4 o'clock hour. 5 o'clock powwow. Get it right, Corey. 5 o'clock powwow hour coming your way. Thanks so much for joining us. Drew Brees is correct. This is, in fact, New Orleans, Louisiana. Got a good one lined up for you. Rain expected through tomorrow night. Invest 93L. Kind of just sitting off the coast. Moving along at a slow pace, just sort of dumping rain in different spots. So far, though, we really haven't gotten crushed. Just cloudy, kind of misty, wet. Hopefully it stays that way. Let's avoid the rain, huh? Hey, it is Thursday. We love tossing this guy a bone. Jeff Dorson joins us from the Humane Society of Louisiana. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, Corey, I love our 5 minutes together. Always informative and insightful, and thanks for encouraging people to learn how to be kind to animals and to get involved. It always helps boost our efforts to, our campaign is mainly be kind and compassionate. It's a no-brainer.
No, it's about money, though, too. You guys need money to operate. You got to pay vets. You're saving animals that are emaciated, that have heartworms, that have major problems, cats, dogs, kittens, puppies, horses, goats, all of the travel, all of the expenses, the time it takes to get these animals fit where they can be adopted out. It costs a lot of money. So the way you guys operate is everyday folks donating at humanela.org or going to your Gretna facility and dropping off dog food, cat food, litter, anything that animals could use.
Good point. August 2nd is our next citywide pet food collection drive. Just come in between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., 618 Durbany, not far from Gretna City Hall, and just stop in, say hello, and drop off some supplies and food for those in need. We'll distribute. We get calls all day long. Pet owners hard to keep up with inflation or difficult, financial difficulties, and we want to help them. And you can help us by dropping off what you can afford to give.
Yep. Jeff Dorson.
You want to ask about the 2 awards we gave to the St. Charles deputies?
Yeah, I saw
what a pat on the back.
One deputy saved a bird and one deputy saved a cat that was stuck up in a vehicle.
Yeah, they got a call about an injured bird, and these two great deputies, Lieutenant Gilboy and his partner, Deputy Caitlin, that's her first name. It was an injured hawk. Now, I think it's a red-shouldered hawk. Now, how many deputies go out of their way to go get a cage, put their jacket over an injured hawk, put it in the cage, and then call around to see who can help? Answer, not many. And then the same partner, Caitlin, got under the body of a car and riddled the kitten free from the undercarriage. We thought that was so cool. We are going to give them plaques in front of their sheriff called the Golden Heart Award. Don't you think they deserve a little bit?
Yeah, most definitely. No, that hawk was about the size of like a football. So, I mean, it's like a significant bird. And no, that other deputy, she crawls under the car and has the wherewithal to get a drill and unbolt one of those, panels that kind of protect the underneath of the car. And that's where that cat was stuck up in there. So she was, like I said, had the wherewithal to get to the kitten.
Yeah, we thought that was really cool. We like to, presenting awards, community awards to people who go out of their way to help animals, because guess what? They need it. So we get calls a lot also on injured and orphaned and displaced wildlife. Everybody thinks, oh, just call Wildlife and Fisheries and they'll send a veterinarian out. Well, that's not going to happen. Believe it or not, there is no real good formal program to help wildlife. Citizens have to, believe it or not, pick up the animal that they come across, call different numbers to see who's closest to them, who's licensed and available. They drive the animal. Now, that's a cumbersome, difficult experience. So we have volunteers and we answer a lot of these calls of injured animals. We go pick them up and drop them off at centers. And there are not many rehab centers. So that's another thing we all have to work on. If you want to become a licensed wildlife rehabber, go to Department of Wildlife and Fisheries website and learn how to become one.
Hey, Jeff, what do you need right now? What animals are in need that you guys are trying to save?
If you see our stuff on Facebook, our posts, we're helping 5 starving dogs in Jennings, Jeff Davis Parish, and another one that was rescued after being dumped, not very nice to the owner, at a gas station in St. Helena. They don't have animal control. We got one of our friends to go pick them up. So if you go, you can see what we're doing around the state. This is not just localized, it's all over. So join us, donate 5, 10, 15, become a monthly donor.
Yeah, please do. Go to their Facebook page, Humane Society of Louisiana on Facebook. They've got photos. They update them all the time, a paragraph underneath kind of explaining what's going on. You see what they do, you'll donate. And you donate at humanela.org. It's easy. humanela.org. Any final thoughts until next week, Jeff?
Yeah, thanks for taking care of Tolee and all your critters, and you're doing a great job. You're showing us how it's done. Be kind, be considerate, be compassionate, be generous. That's all the traits you got, my friend.
Too sweet. Thank you, Jeff.
Back at you.
Yeah, you're right,
Next
brother.
week.
Yep, next week. That's Jeff Dorson, Humane Society of Louisiana, joining us on the program. No, pet ownership's a responsibility, I want a 911, a Porsche, but I can't afford the tires and the oil change. I can't afford $800 tires. I can't afford, $500 oil changes. So I don't have a Porsche. If I couldn't afford, 2 times a year vet visits, couldn't afford once a month heartworm medicine, couldn't afford yearly vaccinations, couldn't afford all the food that the dog's going to need for the year, couldn't afford some mishap that's going to happen. That might be an extra few $100 because of something that just popped up. Dog stepped on a piece of glass, cut his paw, dog got stung by a bee, whatever. You got to be prepared for that stuff. If you don't think you can handle those kind of things, don't get a pet. Don't get a dog or a cat. It's a responsibility. It's not an alarm system. You don't get a dog to keep in the house all day or keep in the yard all day to protect your valuables. Get an alarm system. A pet is a living creature. It's not just a television set. No, I don't get it. Every month, if you have a dog, you have to have heartworm medicine for the dog. Every month, there are no exceptions. It's on 6 months out of the year. I do it sometimes. I feel pretty good about that. Every month. Or you're not being a responsible dog owner. That's not like an opinion of mine. It would be hard to find a veterinarian or any responsible dog owner that would disagree with that simple premise. Heartworm medicine every month. No exceptions. Vet visit at least once, ideally twice or more a year. Tolee's going to be 13 in October. Tolee goes to the vet every quarter. Like every 6 months, I get blood drawn from Tully to make sure kidney and liver, all those functions are working right. Whatever Dr. Emily at Maple Street Vet Clinic says, I go with. Her dad, Dr. Zeller, is as good as it gets. Trust these people unequivocally. You get a good vet. You listen to what they say. You take care of the animal. You treat the animal humanely. It's easy, but it is a responsibility. It is a responsibility. Now I got Puffy, the outdoor cat, every month. That stuff, what is it, Revolution 2 or something? Put a couple of drops behind the cat's neck. No fleas, ticks, any of that. You got to take care of your animals. Puffy's an outdoor cat, is a, basically feral. I adopted this cat. It's always at my house. Starting to come inside a little bit. Hopefully, as the cat gets a little older, maybe I'll lure it inside full time, or it'll become indoor-outdoor. But that's my outdoor cat. Doesn't matter that it's outside. Not like someone else will feed it. Someone else will bring it to the vet. I got it spayed or neutered, whatever. I get it vaccinated every year. I put the medicine behind its neck every month. I feed it every day, all the time, snacks, everything. No, pet ownership is a responsibility. It's pretty simple. Otherwise, don't do it. Like I said in the beginning, I want a Porsche 911. One day I'll get one. But I can't afford the oil change and the tires, so I don't have a Porsche 911. Can't afford to be a responsible pet owner, don't get a pet. And it's not an alarm system. Don't leave it inside all day, outside all day. Just ridiculous. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. Real quick, I'll get off the dog thing. Folks that like tie their dog up all day in the yard, it's against the law. And it should be against the law, folks that leave their dog in like a kennel inside the house with like a PP or pad so the dog can do its business jammed in this kennel. It's in there 8-10 hours a day waiting for you to get home from work. That should be against the law too. That's just indirectly cruelty to animals. You can't leave a dog in a cage for 8 or 10 hours. It's insane. You want to be in a cage for 8 or 10 hours? Rain expected through tomorrow night. So far, we've dodged the bullet. It could have been torrential rain right now, could be flooding everywhere. Instead, that storm, Invest 93L, that rain event, just sitting off the coast of Louisiana, Alabama, Florida, and just sort of raining on us. Mississippi just sort of raining on us a little bit, but not too severe. Let's hope that continues.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river.
Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Yeah, you, right. Corey Johnson back at you. Thanks so much for joining us on this Thursday afternoon. Invest 93L. I think the L stands for lame, which is a good thing. Just sitting there out in the Gulf, dumping a little rain in certain areas. So far, so good. And I say that, and there's probably some area where people are getting hit with a lot of rain going, Corey, it ain't so good right here. But Metro New Orleans, as far as I can tell, has kind of dodged the bullet. I spoke with a buddy of mine who lives on the Mississippi Gulf Coast over at Diamond Head. He said, so far, so good. Not very much rain. As a matter of fact, he said, it's 90 degrees. Golf carts, even for you folks that don't play golf and could give a crap about this, it's important. Golf carts are on the course right now at Diamond Head. It's pretty much always 90 degrees. You drive the cart path and you cut over. But the point is, if it were rainy and wet, first off, people wouldn't be playing golf. Second, it would at best, it would be cart path only, because they don't want the carts doing damage to a wet golf course. Point is, it isn't a wet golf course. They're not getting a lot of rain at Diamond Head. We're not getting a lot of rain right now in New Orleans. So hopefully that's the case in Mobile, Pensacola, all up and down the Gulf Coast. Because yesterday there was talk of 3 to 6 inches of rain by tomorrow night. And I guess that could still happen tonight and tomorrow. Let's hope it doesn't. I'm just saying, so far, so good. They were talking some isolated areas in Metro New Orleans, 10 inches. And Lafayette could see like 15 inches. Now, I have noticed, like, west of us, it seems like, it could more severe rain chance than what we're going to get. But again, so far, so good. Keep your fingers crossed. Keep praying. Let's hope for the best. Keep dodging the bullet. The last thing we need is, test the pumps. And it's Jefferson Parish, too. I saw a headline. I think it was on Fox 8. Orleans and Jefferson Parish officials say the pumps are ready. Like all of a sudden, Jefferson Parish is included in that. And, what was that? About a year ago, we get a deluge and it floods all over Jefferson. It's really a shame. You should go to Google. It's Wagner and Ball. They're an architectural and engineering firm. They've come up with the master plan for New Orleans for water, and it's the East Bank. It is Jefferson Parish, Orleans Parish, and St. Bernard. And it's so well done, and we've implemented just about none of it. We already should be like 10 years into it, and we've done nothing. I don't hear any mayoral candidates talking about it. No, this Wagner and Ball New Orleans water project is about retention ponds and water features all over the city, all over St. Bernard, all over Jefferson Parish, where the water naturally flows to the lowest area, where the pumps are pumping those water features down, and streets and neighborhoods and businesses are high and dry. Now, we should be embracing this New Orleans master plan for water that Wagner and Ball did. Just Google it. Wagner and Ball, New Orleans water plan. No, it's beautiful. It looks great. It'll make the city look better. It'll increase businesses, people who want to be around those areas. They're very people friendly, yet they're very functional. You know, a quality golf course has lagoons and lakes and bayous, and they can control the water table. So when the Doppler, when the weather report says torrential rain coming in tomorrow, we're expecting a few inches, they will lower the water table in those water features on the golf course, because the expensive stuff on a golf course, the tee boxes, the fairways, the sand traps, and the greens. The rough is rough, and then the water features are water features. It's the stuff down the middle. They want to keep, watered but not flooded. So they lower the water features. The water hits, big rain event comes in, hits the tee boxes, sand traps, fairways, and greens. It flows down naturally into the low-lying water features. In New Orleans, we can park on the neutral grounds. That always blew me away. The neutral ground, where we have zero financial investment. That's the high ground in New Orleans. WTF, exclamation point. Question mark, exclamation point, question mark, I guess I should say, after the WTF. It's insane. No financial investment, no cars, no businesses, no homes on the neutral ground, yet that's the high, safe area. What the hell? Those should be open water canals, the low area where all the water flows into the air. And the Sewage and Water Board, we can pump an inch an hour, a half inch an hour after that. It's lowering those things while the rain event's going on, because the streets, homes, businesses, cars, high and dry. No water features, retention ponds, working with water. That should be embraced. Now, if you go to the Wagner and Ball website and look at this master New Orleans plan, you'll be like, damn, that looks so good. New Orleans desperately needs to do that. St. Bernard, Jefferson, no one even talks about it. No one talks about retention ponds or water features. Nobody. It's sickening. Pontiff Playground's a pretty good example, although it's a levee built around a playground. You have to pump the water into there. What they do in the Netherlands, these playgrounds are they're in natural low areas. So when a rain event does come and it's raining, the playground can flood. And in a few days, it's fine again. And there's no loss of life or business or anything expensive or anything. It's designed to flood. Pontiff Playground, designed to flood now, but you got to pump the water in. Good start, good idea. It functions, but you got to pump the water in. All these low-lying areas, let's make those playgrounds. Anyway, let's hope we don't need to test the pumps in the system. Let's hope we don't get torrential rain, because we don't have these retention ponds and water features that this Wagner and Ball report talks about. Invest 93L, thank goodness, not doing a whole hell of a lot. The Sewage and Water Board, Turbine 4 online, that's the old steam-operated one from like 1915, like a Model T. Turbine 5 available, Turbine 6 available. 5 of those, of the 5 kind of diesel locomotive engines are ready. So Sewage and Water Board, they say 86 of 93 pumps, major drainage pumps available. They're about as ready as they can be. Louisiana has canceled the Mid Barataria Diversion project. What an embarrassment. Not good for Louisiana, not good for our reputation. The state's biggest, most ambitious coastal restoration plan. Just kind of reckless behavior. $3 billion paid for. Louisiana officials are full of crap. They're citing ballooning costs. Tony Alford, the chairman of the Coastal Advisory Commission on coastal issues for Jeff Landry, says, and I quote, "At the end of the day, it's just something we just could not afford. No way, shape, or form." From what I understand, BP is footing the $3 billion bill. $3 billion with a B. The state is not on the hook for overruns. The state is not on the hook for overruns or any of it. So it has nothing to do with the state can't afford it. That's the gimmick now. The gimmick in the beginning when they were sort of selling it was these few dozen oystermen and few dozen fishermen, along with some influential Plaquemine folks, like less than 100 men. Less than 100 men have shut down this $3 billion coastal erosion project for all of Louisiana, especially for New Orleans and the metro, the population center of New Orleans. $3 billion paid for, the state not on the hook for any overruns, not paying anything into this project. No, typical Louisiana political nonsense. The needs of the few, a few dozen oyster fishermen, a few dozen fishermen, along with some influential politicians and power brokers, have canceled a $3 billion project. That's how things work in Louisiana. The needs of the few, the Bill Jefferson, Edwin Edwards, Mark Morial, John Alario mentality, these deviant, crooked, not civic-minded charlatans, these criminals. That's the mentality that rings true in Louisiana. The needs of the few outweigh all of us. No, this is a major problem. And the difference between me and these anti-Mid Barataria Sediment Diversion Project folks, the difference between us, I'm for everything they're for. Barrier islands, moving sediment via pipeline, planting marsh grass, planting cypress forests, all of that. I'll even take it a step further. The river bottoms in Louisiana, the water bottoms, they're owned by us. The Army Corps dredges the Mississippi River as they should, and they throw all that sediment off the continental shelf into the Gulf. It should be law that they spew it by pipeline into marshes and wetlands. So I'm for every single tool in the tool belt, and some you're not even thinking of, like the Army Corps dredging the river, and that sediment shouldn't be thrown into the Gulf. It's our land. It should be kept in Louisiana by law. Will increase the cost of dredging, so be it. It's our land. No, I'm for every tool in the tool belt, including major diversions. The anti-diversion folks, they're against diversions, but they're for everything else. Everything else has to be maintained by mankind. All these things that I'm for, I'm not against them. They need to be maintained by mankind. Barrier Islands, you got to continuously pump sand up there and bulldoze it around. Diversion by pipeline, you got to continuously, it's not just land forms and it's done. It's going to settle, and saltwater intrusion, all that. You got to keep pumping in sediment. Diversion project, you open it up. That's it. Control the flow. That's it. How much sediment do you do or do not want going in at that time? That's it. Open a gate. Doesn't require continuous man-made intervention. And I'm for everything, but I'm for these diversions. And this one studied for like 20 years, bipartisan support, Republicans and Democrats in the House, in the Senate in Baton Rouge, Republican Democrat governors, like studied for 20 years. BP happens. The money's there now to do it. Everything gets green lighted. So many hurdles, bureaucracy, Army Corps, government, everything green lighted. And Jeff Landry, Gordon Dove, few dozen oystermen, few dozen fishermen, less than 100 men. A $3 billion paid for project. They squash it. They cancel it. Ready, fire, aim, shooting from the hip. Don't have the knowledge to cancel it. Dangerous times.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
It is. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville is as good as it gets. Go there tonight for dinner, tomorrow for lunch, over the weekend for dinner. So good. Glad I discovered that restaurant. A buddy of mine, we call it food porn. We send photos of like a dish we get at a restaurant to each other before we bite into it. And he sent me these 4 lamb chops in this oval plate. I could tell they were sizzling in butter. I was like, dude, where is that? He's like, Gallagher's 527. That was about a year ago. I've been there about a dozen times since. And now they're a sponsor on this program. It's easy to talk about the best. That's I'm not like, hey, I'm a snob. But on my show, I am kind of very selective and I'm picky. I don't want to sit here and tell you, go to Charlie's House of Garbage. It's great. And then you go and you call me the next day and go, Corey, I went to Charlie's House of Garbage. It's garbage. It's terrible. You were saying it's got a great hamburger. It was a terrible hamburger. My rep's on the line. So when I'm telling you go to Young's Dry Cleaning, it's the best. It is. Because I'm a New Orleanian. I've been around a little while, still young enough to be aggressive and go get it, old enough to have experience. And I've dealt with the stuff that's not good. So when it comes to my show, my reputation, the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson, I'm not going to go on there and talk about stuff that's not good. Because then you're going to call and be like, Corey, I don't trust you. You may disagree or agree with me on like politics and stuff like that. But when I'm talking about like food and businesses in New Orleans, I'm lucky. It's the best. And Gallagher's 527 is one of New Orleans' best restaurants. And it is, like the guy said, as good as it gets. So damn good. Love it. Rain expected through tomorrow. Invest 93L. Let's hope we continue to just get this sort of miss we're getting. We're not really getting like major flooding, a lot of rain. We still have another 24 hours or so at least of this. So let's keep our fingers crossed tonight, tomorrow afternoon. We don't get any of this. We continue what we've been getting, just overcast, a little misty, little drizzle, no street flooding. Let's keep it like that because the forecast was scary. And I had a conversation today. Somebody was talking about weather people, and I don't watch it anymore because they're just trying to scare you. I don't think you have to obsessively watch it, like get updates every 10 minutes. But when something like this is, the meteorologists, the weather people are talking about it, they're going to cover their rear ends. It's sort of worst case scenario. You hope for the best that we don't get worst case scenario, which is what's happening right now. But you pay attention to it. Every few hours you check in if there are any changes. But yeah, you don't have to sit there and fixate on it. But yeah, I think weather people in general, there's like, it's what they do for a living for starters. So they can have a nerdy excuse to kind of be passionate about it. And then it's television. So yeah, they'd like to garner ratings. So I think indirectly, I don't know if it's like conscious, but I think the new breed of weather people, I don't want to say they sensationalize things, but there's more of that. There's more of like, worst case scenario. I can think of two instances, and both involved wind. I'd never heard of this in my life. Mardi Gras Day, you remember? 50-mile-an-hour gusts. I'm like, wait. There's no like, quote, storm. There's no invest. There's none of that. It's just, it's going to be could be some rain and thunder showers, but you guys are like almost guaranteeing like crazy windy conditions Mardi Gras Day, like 50, 60-mile-an-hour winds. I was like, when have they ever come up with like wind predictions in advance like that when there's not a storm, a definitive storm? Was it windy Mardi Gras Day? Yes, it was. It was windy. Like 10, 15-mile-an-hour winds, pretty continuous. You might have had a gust of like 18 miles an hour. There was no 50, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Like 3 weeks later, same thing, this wind prediction. I'm like, when the hell did they start coming up with this? And there wasn't 50, 60-mile-an-hour winds that time either. So, no, I think there's sort of a inclination to, I'm the weatherman. I want to, I can be geeky and just maximize. Like I'm talking to a bunch of geeky weather meteorologist types like me, or you can be like, no, I'm talking to the layman out there. And yeah, so I think there's a little bit of a, I don't want to say exaggeration or embellishment. I don't think that's accurate. I think there's a little bit of sensationalism just for, you can sit there and say, it's a beautiful day in New Orleans. It's a beautiful day. I mean, you can emphasize it all kind of different ways, saying the same thing. So they're just taking it up a notch. Anyway, keep your fingers crossed that this thing just goes bye-bye. I thought it was interesting that I think it was Fox 8. A headline was like, Orleans, Jefferson Parish officials say the pumps are ready. Like Jefferson Parish is now getting included into that. Now, it's not like Jefferson Parish has a 100-plus-year-old system antiquated like New Orleans Sewage and Water Board. In some cases, there are parts of that system that are like over 100 years old, including Turbine 4, which is online right now. But Jefferson Parish realizes what I've been talking about for years, you can't pump your way out of it. If enough rain falls at any time, it's going to flood. And we should have retention ponds and water features all over to protect us from that. But still, no emphasis on that at all. I was in some business today, and they had on, I think it's Fox Weather. Fox has their own, like, I guess a competitor to the Weather Channel. It's Fox Weather. And their people were in New Orleans. There was a dude on the a balcony on the quarter. There was a woman out by the lakefront. And they were showing, like, it's funny, what they were showing their reporters, and it's dry. It's not raining. And then they were showing scenes where it was raining earlier, and it wasn't really even a downpour. So they were like almost desperate for footage. Kind of crazy. Now, we'll tell you this, and it kind of proves, I guess, the point about the weather people, this goes beyond the weather people. I was covering a storm in Mobile, must have been 20 years ago. Covering a storm in Mobile and ended up going downtown to that, I think it's a Radisson. Used to go there for the NFL Senior Bowl. And there was other media there. There was the Weather Channel. Stephanie Abrams was there from the Weather Channel. CNN was there. I mean, it was like you had this hardy garage and you had this solid structure that, isn't going anywhere. So that was sort of the headquarters. And I'm like, literally, I didn't have a room. I'm in the conference room. I have like 5 chairs on one side, 5 chairs on the other, pushed together. And then I stacked like a bunch of table linens on the chairs, and I'd take like a nap and I'd set my, alarm where I'm waking up every hour to do a report from Mobile, Alabama about the storm that's hitting. This is all going on overnight. So I'm walking up and down this hallway, and out on the balcony, you have like CNN or Weather Channel, whichever one, they're doing their stuff. It wasn't the Weather Channel, and I'm not sure it was CNN at this point. I don't know who it was. MSNBC, CNN, somebody. Not the Weather Channel, though. They're literally doing a report, and I'm walking by, and I see the report, and I walk back by. They finish their report, whatever. This is going on every hour on the hour for hours. I walk by like at 3 a.m. They had hooked like a belt or something like on one plant. They're doing the report. There's like on a balcony. So there's like a concrete wall that's like, balcony height, 3-4 feet. And then there are these 2 like little mini palm trees in these planters on the balcony. These planters are pretty big. They're like a big garbage can size, but like 2 feet tall. And they're these like tropical plants, like these palm trees in there that are like maybe 5 feet tall total, 4 feet tall. Literally, you could see like the palm leaves coming in the left and right side of the picture. They kind of framed out the shot. I walk down the hallway and I pass it up. I'm like, did I just see what I just saw? I stop and back up. First off, it's like 3:48 a.m., something crazy. Middle of the night, storms hitting Mobile, rain's kind of going down sideways. Winds are probably like in Mobile, maybe 50 miles an hour. But they're in this isolated little spot. So there are 2 like helper folks, I don't know, interns, associate producers, whatever, and I'm not making this up, on each side outside of the shot with like a rope or belt hooked to these palms, and they're jiggling them back and forth. They're jiggling them back and forth to make it look like, crazy conditions. Now, I will say this. If the shot would have been out in the open, it would have been windy like that. So, I mean, if they wanted to justify like, oh, we had a wall blocking it, we just wanted to show you what these plants would be doing, but still, I was like, what a joke that they have to fake that. I'll never forget Geraldo. He was out in the street and was like, literally like, it's windy and it's raining. There's no doubt. And the rain's coming down sideways, which we get in New Orleans like what, once a month, sideways rain. Geraldo's bent knees and one leg straight, one's bent. He's kind of like leaning into the wind. It's like he could get blown away anytime. Like he's fighting the wind. And literally behind him out in the open, you can tell it's like an old man. He's like 70, 80 plus. He's just kind of walking, just slowly, just walking right through the back of the shot. And Geraldo's still faking the bending and leaning in the wind and, whipping his head around and water flowing off because it's raining and the rain is coming down sideways. Nothing extreme. And this old man just walking in the back of the shot, no problem. I was like, wow, Geraldo, so full of crap. So full of crap. No, yes, that was on TV. Everyone saw that. The thing I saw at that hotel in Mobile, only I saw that, but that was sort of shameful. I was like, my God, you guys are shaking the plants to make the shot look more severe, like you're in the wind. Hey, how about this? Get the reporter and the photographer out in the wind. Corey Johnson with you. The Neutral Ground, every weekday afternoon, 4 to 6 o'clock. Coming right back. More of the 5 o'clock powwow.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. Hey, Young's Dry Cleaning. Don't forget about those guys. It's nice to have an ace in the hole. The best at what they do. Young's Dry Cleaning. Tired of your dry cleaner? Simply want to experience the best? Something you don't ever have to worry about again. youngsdrycleaning.com. Easy. youngsdrycleaning.com. Rain expected through tomorrow night. Saturday, maybe some rain. Sunday's supposed to be sunny and clear and beautiful. So if we don't get a lot of rain, which is what we're all hoping for, we'll be able to go outside, knock out all those projects, things we want to do, have fun, get outside, and not have to worry about, puddles and saturated, tennis court, golf course, hunting camp, whatever, landscaping project. Down in Grand Isle, they have their music fest. It's going on right now. Scheduled for tomorrow and Saturday. They're green lighting it. They're not letting Invest 93L cancel it. I mean, one side of me thinks that's clearly the way to go. Now, if you wanted to cancel it, that's fine. But I think that's sort of a mistake. It's like the the Italian Irish, marching parade, the St. Patrick's Day. They canceled it. It was a great morning and a great early afternoon. It would have been a perfect day for that parade. A great day to march. No, but they went with the meteorologist. Look, I mean, if it's a washout, 100%, it's a guarantee. I get it. But I mean, in New Orleans, we used to you wait until, you line up, man, it's raining. It looks like we're canceling. We stop and then you cancel. It's like, what's the big deal? We came down here to try to do it and we couldn't. That sucks. We got to cancel it. But to cancel it before and then it's a great morning and day. I mean, it was overcast, but 0 rain, and it made it more comfortable. It was ideal marching conditions. No, so that I never follow the weather folks 100% unless they're just hell bent and it's obvious and it's storming. But I play golf once a week, early morning. I'd say when it's like a 50% chance of rain in the morning, we'll get in the golf 3 out of 5 times, 4 out of 5 times, literally. We might 1 out of the 5 have to stop for 10 or 15 minutes and go under a shelter and then it stops raining. But as far as canceling the plans, maybe 1 out of 5 when it's like 50% or a better chance of rain in the morning. So I think a lot of folks that hunt, fish, play tennis, golf, landscape, do outdoor activity, whatever it might be. It's not like you take the weather reporter, meteorologists or weather folks, with their forecast with a grain of salt. Nah, whatever. But it's science and they're getting better at it all the time, but it's not perfected. It's not fact. So, no, I'm hoping, yesterday, we expect 3 to 6 inches of rain, which could still happen tonight, tomorrow, up to tomorrow afternoon. As much as 10 inches in isolated areas. 15 inches possible in Lafayette. That was yesterday. Today, we haven't received 3 to 6 inches of rain anywhere. And nowhere near as much as 10 in isolated areas. Nothing like that. Now, west of us towards Baton Rouge, beyond Baton Rouge towards Lafayette, there is still a severe chance of weather over there. But we're not getting the 3 to 6 inches of rain. And again, we still got tonight, tomorrow afternoon. I don't believe in jinxes, so nothing I can say is going to change or, make it rain or not rain. But so far we dodged the bullet. Let's hope that continues. And because Saturday could be a non-rain day, just sort of partly cloudy. Sunny's going to be gorgeous Sunday. So we could still have a fantastic weekend. Hey, Invest 93L. The L stands for lame right now. Continue to be lame. Just sit off the coast and don't do much. That would be perfect. Louisiana has canceled the Mid Barataria Diversion project. That's official. So you few dozen oystermen, you few dozen fishermen, you few dozen politicians and power brokers and politicians, I would say under 100 men have stopped this $3 billion project. And they're probably proud and happy, with themselves. A lot of folks are like that. Short-sighted New Orleanians and Louisiana folks that are selfish, that are worried about themselves exclusively, the needs of the few clearly outweighing the needs of the many in Louisiana. That's why we struggle. Other states, it's the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. We're not going to, patronize, appease, placate a few dozen oystermen and fishermen and some overzealous politicians. We're going to do what the clear majority wants. This Mid Barataria Diversion project has been studied for years, has bipartisan support, Republicans and Democrats, both in the House and Senate in Louisiana, and Democrat and Republican governors. BP disaster happens. Got to make some lemonade out of lemons. Got to find a silver lining. They're going to pay for a lot of our coastal erosion projects, coastal restoration projects. This was the most ambitious, the biggest one. $3 billion. All paid for by BP. The state not on the hook for any overruns, not on the hook for anything. The state doesn't have anything to do with this financially. Yet, Tony Alford, the chairman of the Coastal Advisory Commission on coastal issues under Jeff Landry, says, at the end of the day, it's just something that we just could not afford. No way, shape, or form. I mean, that says like it's good, but we can't afford it, which is nonsense. We can't afford it. We're not paying for it. No, the real story is the needs of the few. They don't want that right now. But that was the original selling point. These oystermen and fishermen, these dolphin, you're going to kill the dolphin. If these oystermen and fishermen was like, hey, we're going to kill a bunch of dolphin and you'll be able to get more oysters, they'd be killing the dolphins. I mean, it's ridiculous. They're not worried about the dolphins. No, they're worried about where they get their oysters from, that specific area, where they fish, that specific area. That's going to change for them. And they're right. It'll be farther out. They should know better than anyone. Their dad's dad, where land was, it's open water, yet so short-sighted, worrying about themselves exclusively, not even their kids or their kids' kids or the future. No, it's sad. And the governor and Gordon Dove and these other kind of average people, they're not like experts on this. They've canceled years, decades of bureaucracy, red tape, Army Corps of Engineers, Republicans, Democrats, all on the same page, bipartisan support. This thing green-lighted, $500 million already spent. They nixed it just like that. I'm going to try to get Bob Marshall on the program from the Times Pick. See what his, he's an environmentalist. He cares about Louisiana's coast. Blue Boy, it is sad, buddy. Not a good day for Louisiana. Politics at its worst. What's that, buddy? Thank everybody for checking out the program. We'll be back tomorrow at 4, Fantasy Friday. Lots of great guests. You're right, Blue Boy. You're
on
right.
The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM. WSLA New Orleans.
Good boy.
It's 6 p.m.